Hello and welcome everyone to our Vistatec Life Sciences in Focus podcast. Fascinating conversations with life sciences experts, with global life sciences experts even. This is a space where we interview life sciences people once a month, except this month your hosts, Tkaczyk and María Mateos, are reviewing the year and looking ahead. Maria and I are privileged to lead sales and account management for Vistatec's Life Sciences business unit. We get to work with a world-class supply chain every day. So, 2024. Shall we start chronologically, Maria? Would you like to lead us in?
Yeah, that's a good idea. And well, we started this year attending SCOPE, the Summit for Clinical Operations Executives, back in February in Orlando. And a lot of takeaways from there shaped the rest of the year, really. Our listeners know that we really cannot get away without discussing AI. So how about we get that out of the way first? My friend, what's your impression on this? Are people using as much AI as we have been discussing? Is that so?
Yeah, good idea. Let's get it out of the way, so we can talk about what we really like talking about. So the answer is well, yes and no. Everyone in life sciences knows that we are rightly a risk-averse industry. So we're not removing human experts from the loop and hopping on the AI bandwagon without careful thought, hallucinations when that's when AI, for our listeners who don't know, that's when AI makes up something that it doesn't know, which AI does. It's called hallucination. That could be a disaster. Clunky content can make things harder to understand for patients and providers alike, for all those reading the documentation that we are translating and localizing. Yet there is content and workflows where using AI for content creation and for translation might be suitable as part of a workflow. What I often tell people is I often give examples like this. So let's consider a corporate website that has a chat bot on it. Are we okay with using an AI-driven workflow for translation there? Many would say yes. But how about internal training, right? Your e-learning modules. Perhaps the transcripts are generated from AI, the English transcript that was created by the person who devised the training. And perhaps those transcripts are being translated by a human. And then perhaps we're using a synthetic AI-based solution for the voiceover to turn those translations into a voiceover for the e-learning modules in other languages. That's a sort of mid-level example where we use a mix of humans and a mix of AI solutions. And then if we look at regulatory submissions or instructions for use or informed consent forms, then we're moving into situations where we recommend human-led workflows with extensive quality assurance. And most of our clients agree that that's the best way forward. So those are just three easy examples of a low risk, a medium, and a high risk situation. And of course, we could share dozens, right, Maria? So yes, we use machine translation when it saves time and money, and it's judicious to do that in conversations with our clients and on a case-by-case basis. Really, that's my take. Does that match your experience with your accounts, Maria?
Absolutely. The life sciences industry is right to be cautious. We really can't afford errors, especially when patient safety is online. But that doesn't mean AI doesn't have a place here. We can use AI and then add some human steps to the workflow. We have been doing this. AI generates the content and then humans refine it to put it in a way, especially for high stakes work like, as you said, regulatory submissions or patient-facing material, it just makes sense. It's right here in this type of work, this type of content, where human-led workflows and strict quality checks are really non-negotiable. And it's all about balance, I guess, when we use AI when it makes sense, as you said, when it saves time, when it saves money, but being thoughtful about risks and always in conversations with our clients, making sure we plan a fully customized workflow for them that goes hand in hand with their needs. I guess that's the key.
Nice. Yes, yes, we're on the same page, aren't we?
Is that surprising at all?
No, well, no, I suppose not. The other topic that we couldn't get away from this year in parts of our world was the European Union's medical device regulation, MDR. Right, that's a long and tiresome saga for all who know it well, and we can only hope that it will be resolved in 2025, and that the reason, of course, is that we don't want to see any shortages of medical devices due to burdensome regulations. And the European Parliament's movement on that at the end of October should hopefully help. So I look forward to seeing how that goes.
Well, the goal really is to fix those delays, the high costs, and challenges overall. This should have a huge impact, mainly for smaller companies. Hopefully, these upcoming changes planned for 2025 will help to simplify processes while keeping safety and innovation as top priorities. That's what we very much like to see.
For sure. I know many small and even not small, significantly mid-sized companies that just pulled out of Europe entirely. Just decided they couldn't launch their products in Europe, and they were starting in the US and going to other parts of the world rather than deal with MDR as it was. And of course, this is common general knowledge in the industry, and it's why we're seeing some shortages. Yeah. Look forward to seeing changes there.
Yeah, and hopefully see them all back in the EU.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
And speaking of recent changes in the industry, we, like I guess everyone else, have been waiting for the FDA's updated guidance on diversity action plans in the clinical trial space. This really pushes clinical trials to include more unrepresented groups, and while it's not yet mandatory, sponsors can soon expect to have to create these plans for trials related to new drug or device submission. And well, this means better recruitment, more support for participants, and more diverse data. We really want to see that. And well, it's a huge win for healthcare equity. It also means possibly longer timeliness and higher costs. So the industry is still adapting with new tech and partnerships to make this happen. And well, we're very proud to be supporting our clients to comply with this new guidance. And I know you are very excited about this one as well. So I'm sure you have a lot to add here.
Well, it's kind of sad that regulation must be enforced for companies to do the right thing, you know. But that's the way of the world, I suppose. There's a reason that we have regulatory bodies. And I like to think that it's not only about diversity, equity, and inclusion, which of course is a good thing. It's not only about health equity, which of course is a good thing. It's also about the science. The science is weak if we all know that historically clinical trials have been largely populated by white men. And we know that the science does not, that the science is stronger when we don't do that, right? So as a scientist, as a chemist at heart, I support diversity action plans on that level too. We had a great conversation about exactly that topic in a webinar in September, and our guests were just the best and brightest in the domain. I had such a great time preparing it with them, and then moderating that conversation. I'll add a link to the recording in our show notes. Yeah, because it was a great one. So that brings us to the online events that we've hosted. Do you have a favorite or anything you'd like to mention about those?
Well, what can I say? We've been extremely lucky to have wonderful guests both for our podcast and our webinar this year. Wouldn't you agree? Weren't they fantastic?
Yeah, we know some lovely people. We know some smart people, don't we?
Yeah, amazing experts who came to share their knowledge and experiences with us and our audience. And well, since we were speaking of diversity, we had a couple of episodes and webinar around this topic, and I very much enjoyed those. And how about you? What have you enjoyed about our
So
online
beyond what
events?
I've mentioned, yes, I love talking with interesting people, right? So that's what the podcast has been for me. The guests were largely people that I'd had great conversations with in person, and we just recorded one of those conversations. So that was fun, and I was very pleased with the two webinars that I hosted as well. Our speakers were so knowledgeable, as well as that diversity action plan one I mentioned. We had a super webinar on where we are with real world evidence and how to and how that's becoming part of the scenario in the drug and device world. Let me touch then, so that's online. Let me touch on the events we attended in person too. So you mentioned Scope, that was high energy, full of excitement. It was around the Super Bowl and Valentine's Day. It was an oddly timed event that was full of energy. We did attend some other events focused on clinical trials, and we went a bit broader. For instance, to the Drug Information Association, their global annual event was in June in San Diego. So there we see regulatory affairs, clinical people, quality people, safety people, everyone mingling in that world. And of course, we help them put that information into all the languages they need it in. That's a part of our purpose here at Vistatec. Later in the year, I attended events with a regulatory focus, RAPS Convergence in Long Beach. Well, we attended events with a regulatory focus and a safety focus, the World Drug Safety Congress in Boston. But I will say overall, I saw very similar themes among all of those events all year long. And our European peers said the same, didn't they? So if anything, I'd say that beyond AI, this has been a year of working through new regulations and their effects. And that, of course, is a recurring theme in this life sciences space. There are always new regulations, and we're always working through their effects. It's a question of where in the world that new regulation is and what consequences it's having.
So events this year have been fun, but also very productive in terms of knowledge with all these new regulations. We really wanted to go there and learn to see how we can adjust then our programs for our clients, right?
Right. It's about meeting people and growing relationships and just making sure that truly we do have that subject matter expertise that we claim to have, and that we are indeed we know what's happening, and indeed we can guide our clients to help them grow, to help them achieve their goals. So we've looked backwards so far. Should we look forwards?
Yes, please.
Of course. I look forward to more time spent talking with smart subject matter experts and the lovely people that we do business with, the people who make coming to work every day such a joy, growing relationships with those existing clients and with new prospects. I suppose above all, it would be wrong if I didn't look forward to this. I'm looking forward to seeing how the new programs that we're implementing for new clients help them achieve their goals. That's always something that that brings me joy, if you like. My why is to see the two things that I love, which is science and language, being optimally connected in the real world, to see scientists and broadly the life sciences industry get global, multilingual, multicultural communication right, with the right nuance in the right place, and understand. So that's my great joy, is finding a partner that trusts us to do that right, that sets up a customized program and that sees growth coming out of that. So that's not specific to 2025. That's something I like at all times, but this is the time of year when we reflect and think about what might change or be different coming up,
Yeah.
isn't it? What about you? What are you looking forward to in 2025?
Well, you just nailed it.
Oh,
Yeah, me too. I guess I can't wait to see how the localization programs we have started brand new this 2024 develop in 2025. I'm sure the outcomes will be terrific. We are even seeing some results now, and with the programs we have had in place for years now, those keep positively surprising us year after year. How these programs help our clients reach new audiences, recruit more patients, and even expedite submission time. So yes, I very much enjoy see how these relationships grow stronger over time, and how we hear from our clients how happy they are with us working as an extension of their own teams. So very much looking forward to see all this in 2025 too. So yes, I'm eager to see that happening.
it's been great
Yeah.
to review this year with you, Maria.
Same, and really can't wait for 2025. So thank you so much, our audience, for listening and supporting us through 2024. This Life Sciences in Focus podcast is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other leading platforms, as well as in YouTube, if you prefer to watch it. Please make sure to tune in again next month for Vistatec Life Sciences in Focus, fascinating conversation with global life sciences experts.